Number 7 and 8 come in the next set of questions. Number 7 states, given parallelogram west with TE that bisects angle WES and WTS, A, list all angles congruent to angle 1 and explain why. B, in triangle WET, WT is congruent to blank. In triangle set, line segment ST is congruent to blank, and explain. C, complete the theorem. If a diagonal bisects blank in a parallelogram, then the parallelogram is a blank. Number 8, write a proof that uses the theorem in item 7 as the last reason. We're given parallelogram blue. We're given triangle BLE is congruent to triangle ULE. And it wants us to prove that parallelogram blue is a rhombus. For this set of questions, I'm going to give you 8 minutes time to complete all of question number 7 and all of question number 8. Go ahead and pause your video now. The answer to question number 7 and 8 have been provided. I was able to state that angle 1, 2, and 3 and 4 were all congruent. 1, I knew that definition of angle bisector proved that 1 and 2 were congruent, and 3 and 4. But because I knew that this was a parallelogram, I also know alternate interior angles are congruent. So I could say 1 and 4 and 2 and 3 were congruent. Letter B for number 7 says, in triangle WET, WT is congruent to WE. And in triangle set, ST is congruent to SE. And I know that because if two angles of a triangle are congruent, then the sides opposite of those angles are also congruent. The theorem states, if a diagonal bisects a pair of opposite angles in a parallelogram, then the parallelogram is a rhombus. For number 8, it states, I started off by stating that the triangles were congruent because that was given. Then I could state that angles were congruent because of the fact that we have corresponding parts of congruent triangles congruent. And LE bisected the big angles because of the fact that we were given definition of bisect, because we were able to prove the two smaller angles were congruent. We knew that this was a parallelogram because that was told to us. And if we know that the diagonal bisects a pair of opposite angles in a parallelogram, then the parallelogram is a rhombus. On to the next set of questions.